This is The Spot, a BYU-Idaho radio production where we talk about what you talk about at BYU-Idaho.
Today we are here with
Abrielle Millet,
Max Rock,
Grace Andrus,
And Abigail Maxfield.
and today we are talking about book-to-movie adaptations. Ooh.
Reading is daunting.
Yeah.
It can be. There's a lot of different book-to-movie adaptations, and many people feel passionately about it.
Mhm.
You know, some people are very protective of these things, and so it's good that we're talking about it today.
Yeah, I think the thing with movie to book adaptations is that the two mediums are very different, and there will always be, like, just for the sake of having to translate that from one medium to another, where the movie will have to make cuts, right? And
Yeah.
I think that is where it becomes super, like you said, people become like so staunch, like such staunch defenders of it, is because the book to movie adaptations that get the most heat are the ones that become popular and have like very wide, like very inclusive fan bases. Like we talked about this before the episode started, but like Fight Club is based on a book, and like a lot of people don't even realize that, and then the people like who don't realize that don't, like, it doesn't catch as much flack. Like, does that
Yeah.
make sense? As much as like the dystopian era that caught like tons of flack for cutting out like major characters and plot points and cool pieces of the world. And so it's really interesting how many just like slide by and don't get like kind of caught, I guess, in parentheses,
Yeah.
like for like getting that same kind of bad rep, you know?
No, it's true. I feel like a lot of times I'll watch a movie and then at the end it'll be like based on the novel by, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this was about a book?
Yeah.
This is an original?
Yeah, like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. It's based on a short story.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
just
like-
found that out just now, actually.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is like, what do you feel like makes a good book to movie adaptation? Because we talked about that, like, and I was learning about the compression rate, which is like turning a 500-page book into a 2-hour movie.
Oh, yeah.
You have to cut things.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm in the minority here of like I don't need a book to movie adaptation to be exactly like the book. Like that has never bothered me at all. My only rule with that is just don't be boring. Like
Yeah.
be a fun movie, like be entertaining, and I'll be happy.
Cool. So you're more about like absorbing it as like a separate interpretation of like the work, like just as a movie instead
Yeah.
of being like based on the book.
And people don't seem to understand what based on means, I feel like, because it's
Yeah,
like that
100%.
doesn't mean it is the book. It's just it's the idea of the book.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. The idea of the book.
So like you would say that it's more important that a movie catches the vibe of the book than catching all of the side characters and all the plot points.
And all the details.
Even the ending, like,
I mean, I guess so, but it's like, because here, one of my favorite books that I've read is The Long Walk. It's a Stephen King novel, and I love the movie, and it's like immensely different, and the ending is totally different, but I'm like, it works. Like for the story that they told in the movie, like it works.
Interesting. Cool.
and sometimes if you throw like a different ending, it could be fun. Well, actually, it could either be like the worst thing ever to the reader, or like the most, like, I don't know, plot twist to a viewer to be like, oh my goodness, I know this book, and yet
I was surprised.
I also was surprised because sometimes, like, if you've read the book, you know what's happening. So the movie can sometimes be less, I guess, less interesting or less surprising because you're just like, oh, that happened, this happened. But if you don't know your own movie, I mean, your own book story, then I guess that could either be the best thing or the worst thing.
true.
Yeah.
Make or break your world.
No, it's
Make or break.
that's like such a good point though, because if I'm reading a book and I envision a character a certain way, that's my world, right? That I've created.
Yeah.
And then the casting comes out and I'm like,
That's not who I met.
Yeah,
Like that's
I'm
not how I imagined that
I'm
person.
like, dang it, the world is destroyed.
Yeah. Like it just shatters, and
You
you're just
know-
like, my reality's gone.
Seriously, but then like with Harry Potter and Hunger Games, where the books were coming out as the movies were coming out, it was like they gave us characters to envision. And so then when we were reading before the movie came out, but like the characters were already decided, that was kind of like a little bit more fun because my world didn't die. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, with the new like Project Hail Mary is coming out soon, which is kind of like what made us want to talk about this. But another recent book to movie adaptation was Wuthering Heights. And like, I've never read Wuthering Heights. I've never seen any of the movies. I don't have like a stake in like whether or not it is like a good adaptation personally. But something that I really enjoyed, because I love watching behind the scenes with like directors, was the director was talking about how she put the title in quotes, because like on all like the theaters, it's like Wuthering Heights in quotes, or like on the posters, and how she did that because she's like, I feel like almost every book to movie adaptation should be in quotes, because it's not like what Max said, it's like the idea, like my personal idea and interpretation of what this novel meant to me. And she talked about how she read it when she was 14, and how like this book, like this movie, is how she, like this book was for her personally, like as a 14-year-old, like how she remembers experiencing it and reading it and like what it signified. And I just was like, dude, like that's so good. And I personally feel like if we got to see more of that content being pushed before releases of book to movie adaptations, that I'd be more forgiving of cuts. Like, does that make sense? Like if they continued to take that stance, I'd be like, all right, well, this director just like interpreted it this way. And I feel like I'd be quicker, especially as like an avid reader, where I'm like such a staunch defender of like my beloved books. So
Like a disclaimer.
yeah,
in
like a
front of it,
disclaimer.
like, for you readers,
Yes.
you might not like this.
Yeah.
This might not be your favorite
Also,
take.
Literally.
I don't know anything about Wuthering Heights, but that seems like a crazy book to read as a 14-year-old.
Oh yeah, crazy book. For
Yeah,
sure.
I feel like I'm like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, I feel like there also has been a huge push for the rom-com book to movie, like with Colleen
Adaptation.
Hoover, and then like To All the Boys I Loved Before and The Kissing Booth. Like all those were books before they were movies.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
because I watched the movie. But
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that I just thought it was like you said, like it's like a disclaimer, Abrielle. And so I was like, yeah. And like maybe other people would find that excessive. Like Max like just said like it's never bothered him. But like for me, I'm like, I need that disclaimer. And so I think it's just really interesting. And especially like having seen that dystopian era where like you mentioned Hunger Games, where it was like simultaneously like Hunger Games, The Giver, Maze Runner,
Maze
so
Runner.
many book to movies, like young adult book to movies were being adapted, that I feel like that's where I started becoming such a like an avid like, you did it dirty. Like
oh yeah, that's
Do you
so
have
true.
like a favorite book to movie or a least favorite?
Yes, I do actually. I was thinking about this. So I read Maze Runner as a kid. Loved that book. Like seriously loved that book. And then midway through, they casted Dylan O'Brien to play it. And he's very handsome, especially to a 14-year-old girl. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. And the movie was so good. So good. And then, at least in my opinion. And then I read the rest of the books before the movies came out, and then they botched the rest of the books. And I was so sad because I felt like the first one was such a good, not like 1-to-1 ratio, but at least in my brain it felt like that.
like a good interpretation.
A really good interpretation. And then they kind of squashed the rest of the books into two movies. I can't remember, but I just remember not liking it. But the first one, I think, is my favorite.
I still haven't seen it, but I like, for the longest time, I didn't read the book because I had heard like people had like strong opinions, and I feel like it must have come from the films, and everyone was like hit or miss, and so that was a book that I just waited to read because of the reaction. I feel like from the films, so that's interesting how that like influenced me from even reading, like how that could prevent you from having readers or movie watchers. But that's like a weird perspective.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair though. Like almost like the book will botch the movie if you read the book after. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was just, I mean, I didn't read the book. Well, I enjoyed the book, but I didn't read it forever because of how people like didn't really like it. And I think that probably was from the movies more than like the book itself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I will say, like, I have read the Maze Runner books. It's like, they're not perfect books. Like, there are some kind of dumb things in those books.
True.
Like Thomas and Teresa, like being like telepathically linked. Like
So random.
that would not have worked in film. And the way they describe the grievers, like in the books, they're described as like slugs, but in the movie, they're like spiders.
Yeah.
And
Like,
they're like
so-
way more mechanical.
They
in
look,
the movie.
they're more scary. It's like, yeah, like make a change like that.
Yeah. So you think that like some changes like heighten like you said like the grievers being changed, heightened the experience and put like the audience more on edge. So you feel like it was a good change because it like more fully immersed the viewer maybe.
Yeah, like if you're gonna change something, like make sure that it enhances like what you're trying to change. Don't just do it to change it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Do you guys like I know something that is some people don't like the age changes. I like in The Giver they changed the
Like
age.
Percy Jackson.
In Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
There's I mean, maybe Maze Runner. Maybe, I don't
how
know.
old they are.
Did he look like he was 14 when he was
looked
playing that?
handsome.
No, yeah. I think they definitely did change some of the characters' ages in Maze Runner. Like the youngest kid, what's his name? Chuck.
He was
I think
like
they changed
supposed
his.
to be 13, I feel like, or 12.
Yeah, I think he was like
young.
12 or something. They were all supposed to be pretty young, and they look like 17, 18-year-olds. And
That's
that was
also
like,
that's hard though with just
Yeah.
casting. They're always casting like 30-year-olds to play 18-year-olds.
But you know the thing though, like I saw the Percy Jackson movie when I was like 9 I was 9, and it's like I didn't know that that's not what a 12-year-old looked like.
Yeah.
Because I was like
12 looks
I'm like-
cool.
I was like anyone older than me just looks like a teenager.
Okay, honestly, that's a very fair point because
That's
I'm
so
like, yeah,
true.
that's a 14-year-old.
yeah, like when you're
Look at
young,
Lerman
they're
looks
all just the
14.
same looking.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I think my favorite, like, because I think age changing, it does bother me actually. But again, I'm such an avid reader that I'm like, that's not accurate. Like, so it's so hard for me to separate like book to movie adaptations sometimes. Like it's hard for me not to be like, and this was wrong, and this was wrong, and this was wrong. But I think like a favorite, I guess you could say a favorite adaptation is like, I think The Lord of the Rings does a really great job. They did cut out some things, but I think that Tolkien's writing just like lends itself well to film because he has all this, like his books are filled with like just world building lore that are not actually relevant to the immediate plot of the story. Like they're cool and they like add to the universe and to the languages that he's created, but like, so I think his specific writing like lends itself well because there's a lot you can cut out without directly impacting like a storyline that's occurring. So I like think that like Peter Jackson did a great job on like the Tolkien film adaptation. So that would be like a favorite for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've heard that the Lord of the Rings books are hard and the Hobbit books are hard to read.
They
And so
are.
I think that the movies added to the books. They didn't take away anything because I think a lot of people who would never know that story now know it because of the film.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I've also heard that it's really good, but I've never read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another, I don't know if many of you guys have read this book or seen the film, but the Guernsey Literary Potato Pie Pill Society.
Oh,
I have seen the movie.
You saw the movie?
I saw the
Yes.
movie as well.
I saw the movie and then I was like, this is really good. And so I read the book and I really enjoyed the book after that. I mean, because the book gives a lot more detail. The pacing is a lot easier to follow because the movie feels a little quick.
Yeah.
But that's like, I love the film and I love the book.
Oh, cool. So you feel like that's like one of your favorite adaptations?
Yeah, I would say that one's also interesting because in the book it's written like a letter. And so I don't know, I think that's kind of like, I guess, first person.
Yeah.
And I know they had kind of like Hunger Games, they had to change the perspective because it doesn't translate well for film.
Yeah.
But I don't know, they did it and they did it well. It's like really good and it's historical. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I think maybe it's easier if you come from a movie and then you read the book. Because if you like sit down and you're like, wow, this is a great movie, and then someone's like, oh, it's actually a book, then I'm like, nice, even more details, even more information. The Help is
yeah.
like that too. The Help is really good.
The Hobbit is so
The Hobbit? I said The Help.
good. No, I heard you say The Hobbit and I was like, it's so good.
No, but the Help movie is good. But
You
I
didn't like
feel
the book?
No, I've never read the
Oh.
book. But I think you have a good point because I think that watching the movie and then reading the book, I don't think it takes away anything.
Yeah, it
But
like
if you
adds.
read the book and then watch the movie, I think it takes,
Yeah.
which is hard because I don't know.
That's kind of like my method because I saw the Percy Jackson movie before I read the book. So I like the movie like way more than most people do. But it's like, it got me interested in the book. So there is that.
Yeah, I like that aspect as well because so both my sisters had read the Percy Jackson books and I just hadn't read them yet. And so I saw the movie with them in theaters and then they were like, you should just read the book. And I was like, okay. And so then I read the books and I was like, oh, that movie was like not even sort of like on track with what was happening. But I didn't go into the book and was like mad that it was different. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
That does.
so I would agree with like Abrielle's take that like I think that going from movie to book is just like, ooh, like more details, like more fleshed out story, more world kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
That's when I mean, Percy Jackson, I was the opposite. Like, I read the books before I ever saw the films. And so, like, I will say that's a film and a book that's very different, like The Lightning Thief. But I love The Lightning Thief. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a great book. I was disappointed as a kid in The Sea of Monsters. I thought that was terrible.
yeah.
I was disappointed. So, like, that was probably, like, one of the worst book to movie adaptations I've seen because they just
Like botched it.
botched the whole plot. They brought things from, like, the 5th book. It was just
Yeah, they did.
not good.
It was really bizarre. You're just like, wait, Luke has him already? Yeah, it was crazy.
Kronos
what's
doesn't
going on?
appear until book 4.
No,
What the heck?
yeah, literally, but like Kronos is
They-
appearing in second movie. You're like, what is
They
happening?
sped up the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, Max, you didn't tell us your favorite.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my
I
favorite?
want to hear.
Like in terms of like accuracy or
Just
Just
whatever.
however you interpret that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think Holes is like a really good movie.
Yes. Oh
And there's
my
a book?
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a book.
And you read the book first,
No, I
Mhm.
saw the movie first.
and then you read the book.
Yeah, and it's like it's pretty similar.
It's super similar. In
Like-
fact, one of the only complaints that like the fandom in quotes like is like upset about, or not upset, but just like observed, is that the main character in the movie is actually supposed to be really heavy when he first gets there.
Yeah.
And then like lose weight as he's there because he's like exercising and sweating a lot and stuff like that. And everybody was like, yeah, but like, why would you make an actor gain pounds to then lose them on screen?
Yeah.
Anyways, and so everybody was like, nobody cares about that. Like, if anything, we like stand healthier casting habits.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's like, who cares if Harry Potter didn't have green eyes in the movie? It's like, that doesn't change anything.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe for me. Just kidding. But wait, what made you like the book to movie adaptation of Holes?
And I don't know, I think it was like the first book that I read that like where I saw the movie first. I'm like, wow, this is like so similar. Like, I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
To know you could copy paste.
You can do that.
They're like looking at the book, translating it to the script.
Yeah.
They're like, okay.
I thought it had to be
Solid.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I feel like usually when the author of the book is on the directing team, maybe not the director,
Or they're
usually
like
the
heavily
movie
involved.
is better.
Yeah.
Usually the movie is better because they have this vision and they're trying to make it come alive. But then, like you were saying with Wuthering Heights, like it was her version of the book, like how she interpreted the book to a movie
Mm-hmm.
and not the author's. So like we get to see her perspective of what happened,
Yeah.
which I think is cool.
Oh yeah.
I feel like directors should do that more. Be like, this is my take.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know.
The disclaimer should become normal.
Yeah, and it's like if it's too similar to the book, there's no point in reading the book, you know, because you already know what's gonna happen.
Dang.
Wow.
That is not my opinion, but I think that is really awesome.
What's your opinion?
my opinion as a reader is I think we all just kind of touched on the fact that like some of us have seen movies that then led us to go read the book. And so in my head I'm like I think it should be similar enough to where you read the book and you're not like, okay, what the heck is this? Like, you know what I mean? Because if it's so far in left field as a movie and then it prompts you to go read the book that's like on the opposite end, like to me I would just be confused. Like, wait, what? Like, what was the movie then if this was like the original source material kind of a thing?
That's fair because you don't want to you don't want to misrepresent. Like if you have a title and then what you're showing is very different, but it's representing a certain book, that might be offensive to the author. That might be offensive to like the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you got to be cautious of what you're delivering, that it is at least in part similar to what you're producing. Otherwise, it feels like you're just saying one thing to get, I don't know, viewers or to get readers or whatnot.
Yeah. And I'd like to just go back. I mean, I don't think Max's opinion is wrong. I'm just like, again, that's coming from like a reader standpoint. But like, I totally get what you're saying where you're like, if it's like an exact 1-for-1 ratio, then you're like, I've basically just watched the book. So I can totally see like, especially for somebody who's not a reader, like, okay, if this is so exact, then like, I'm not going to spend my time reading it because I just read it kind of a thing. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can totally see that.
Sorry, I will say though, like one instance that just really kind of made me a little mad. It's like
Mhm.
the fourth Harry Potter movie,
So
because same thing. I saw the movie before I read the book,
Mm-hmm.
and then I read the book and I was like, holy crap, I want to see like so much more of this.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't see the Quidditch World Cup in the movie. The maze is like just kind of boring. It's like
Yeah.
I would have really liked to see that. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I agree with that because the trials, like, I love a book with trials, so good. But anyways, so like the trials in Harry Potter #4 are like so good, and they're really like well painted in the
This
book.
is the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, the Goblet of Fire, yeah. And so like I agree. I wanted to see a lot more details like put into those. So yeah, I think that's a great example.
Yeah, I feel like that one was such a good book, and I was so excited about the movie, and I remember being like, what? Like these parts that I was like stoked to see, like envisioned with the characters that I love already.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have it not be what I thought. That's also the risk you run when reading a book before seeing the movie is like
yeah.
these characters, at least the way that I've read before, like you have a personal connection with them and you think that you know what they look like and what it would look like.
Uh-huh.
And then the movie comes out and it's like nothing like you wanted.
Yeah.
And you're like, I should have directed the movie.
Yeah, put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Like, where was I during casting?
Where was I?
Seriously.
You're like, can I be because that's one of the jobs you can have.
Yeah.
You're like,
Casting
can I cast?
director.
Casting director.
I feel like everyone's really excited about the new Hunger Games, the Haymitch's story.
Yeah, Sunrise on the Reaping.
Yes. And from my friends who are way more obsessed than I am, they said the casting has been really good in like similar looks from the other movies with Haymitch and all those characters and Effie Trinket and stuff.
Yeah.
But I haven't read that book yet. Have you guys read that book?
I've read it.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, heck
Are
yeah.
you excited?
I am. I'm really looking forward to it.
And
Yeah.
like you like the casting choices?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Dang.
It's not a casting, what is it called?
Fiasco.
Yeah, sure. Casting. There was like a word that I saw when I was looking stuff up for this episode. It was like a casting word. Deal breaker.
Oh.
Casting shock.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Like when they cast
Casting.
somebody who looks really different from how they're described in the
Yeah.
book, and people are like rioting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they change the gender.
Yeah.
And people are like, no,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be a girl. And it's like, oh, then. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan like when they do stuff like that, because like you take again Percy Jackson, like you take the Disney Plus show, it's like they made Annabeth black, and it's like that's totally fine. I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when you read the books, Rick Riordan, the author, he spends so much time like going over how people look. Like Annabeth has like gray eyes and curly blonde hair. It's like, oh, so that's what you envision. So it's kind of just like a jump scare a little when you're like, oh, that's okay, that's a choice. But like, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, like it's fine, but it's jarring, and like at least for me, like, cause like you said, like I imagine Annabeth with gray eyes, blonde curly hair, and like Grover as like a ginger with freckles because that's how he's described.
A ginger.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was ginger.
Yeah.
I'd never thought he was ginger. You know how like you'll read a book.
At least that's my recollection. It's been a long time. That's my disclaimer in case somebody listens to this and they're like, actually.
They're like, let me get to the book.
yeah, literally.
I feel like there's, like you said, if it is, there's sometimes where you read a book and you'll just forget details.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, half the time, or like me and my siblings, we would talk about books and they would, you know how book characters have like the craziest names?
Yes.
And I would be like, this character. And they're like, what character?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just funny because we pronounce things very differently.
Yes.
I hate that so much.
I know.
Dude,
I think you could say it however you want.
when I was
you
reading
can say however you want.
when I was reading Harry Potter for the first time, like, and I didn't really know anything about the movies, and I was very introduced, I could not pronounce Hermione to save my life.
Oh,
You
uh-huh.
said
I think-
Hermione.
No,
Yeah.
I think I said like, yeah,
Hermione?
Hermione or her hero mine something. I can't remember, but I was wrong. And then I like went and watched the movie, and I was like, oh, I've been reading that incorrectly for the last however long. Okay, I'm not illiterate, but I just had, little.
I think it was Neville. Maybe it was like Nivelle.
Yes.
I don't know. I can't remember which
And you're like
character.
just pronouncing these in your head,
Yeah.
and then you see the
It's
movie, and
crazy.
you're like, oh.
You know what's funny though? Like this isn't like a book to movie thing, but when I read the Harry Potter books and the word prefect like showed up, I always read it as perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I think I did too.
Just
Yeah,
because
me
that's how
too.
my brain worked. I was like,
100%.
oh yeah, perfect.
Because I was like, prefect must just be like a like a British thing.
Like a perfect person.
Like, you know how it's in the UK they spell things like a little bit differently?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is just how they spell perfect. Which is like, I don't know, I'm 12 years old.
That's awesome.
What am I
That's
supposed
awesome.
to think? But like Max was saying, I just like auto-corrected it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really, sorry, I'm just going to circle back because I'm still thinking about it, but I don't really mind that much when they like change genders or like the appearance. Like I'm always just a little bit disappointed, like because I have this image of the character in my mind. Like you said, it's like it's my reality of like what this world entails, but like I'm still fine with it. Like I never like mad or like
Yeah.
rioting. I'm
I
just
still
kind of
watched
like,
the
dang,
movie.
it would have been cool if they'd had somebody that fit that description. Like that would have been cool, and then I just move on, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, Dune, that's a recent-ish one that I can think of. Like changed the gender of a character, like Zendaya's, like Chaney's mom in that book. That's like the scientist is actually supposed to be a man, and her father, like
Oh.
he's a man, doctor guy, like researcher. But they like changed it to a woman casting, which I honestly felt was fine, especially because that like whole book and universe only has like 3 females listed in it, like at one point.
Oh, so
It's like the princess, the mom, and then Cheney, and like those are the 3 that are like really discussed, and then everybody else is like a brief side character of a
Yeah.
woman. Anyway, so I was just like, cool, like yeah, like add another woman in there, like I'm down for that.
Throw
Like
her in.
yeah, throw her in. But yeah, and I didn't think it like her gender was like pivotal to the plot. If it was, then I would have been like, okay, what is happening right now?
But-
like if they had made Paul a girl, I would have been like, but he's a guy, like in the book.
book.
Like why would you? He's the main character. Why would you change his gender?
It's
Like,
Paulina.
yeah, Pauline.
Paula.
Paula.
Oh, they just changed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never read the book Dune, but I've heard it's a heavy book.
The first book is phenomenal. Great
Really?
audiobook. 10 out of 10 would recommend. They have like a full cast for it, I think, on Audible at least.
Oh,
It's very well done.
look, he's Slay. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And did you like the adaptation of it, like from book to movie?
I thought the adaptation was great. What's the guy who did it? Who, like the director?
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, thank you. Denis Villeneuve. He did a great job of bringing it to life. I like loved that they shot on location instead of green screening the desert. Like I was like in love with the fact that they did that. Because I'm just like all about, I'm like, you can tell, okay, like the difference. But yeah, I thought he did a great job, and it was interesting because I talked about the ending, which I won't tell you what the ending is in the book in case anybody hasn't seen it, but just like the ending in the
I
movie
haven't
is
seen it.
very different from the one in the book. But in discussing with my brother who read the book with me, we just talked about how they changed it so that they could depict like Paul's inner turmoil as being like embodied by Cheney, like his wife. And so like, because in the book she just like goes along with his plan and knows that that's what he needs to do, kind of a thing. But like that's not how it was depicted in the movie, because like the whole time Paul's doing it, he like hates that he has to do it. And so like they're like just making her the outer embodied, because you're not getting his internal thoughts. And so it was interesting, but I felt a tasteful choice because they decided not to make it like his internal dialogue in the movie. So
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
so
but
so
it
you
was
did like it
I did like it. Yeah,
Okay,
I did like it, despite the ending being different.
being different.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there a book to movie adaptation that you guys like passionately hate?
One of them is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Oh,
What is that?
It's
It's
well,
an old Brad Pitt movie.
yeah, it's a book about, well, it's a movie, but a book where a man ages backwards.
Yeah.
He's born as an old man.
Yeah.
I remember starting the book and I'm like, are they ever gonna explain like
Why?
how,
or
why?
how?
It's kind of like Metamorphosis, where it's like they never explain why,
You just
but they
accept
just
that it is.
accept it,
Yeah.
and then he dies as a baby. Surprise!
That's random.
But
Yeah.
I really liked the book. It's a very short book, 72 pages.
Oh.
Anyone could read it,
Super
or
brief.
100 something. But I just remember really disliking the movie and being like, this is not good or right.
this is
But I
terrible.
couldn't tell you why. But in high
Yeah.
school, I was like, this is not this.
For me, I think honestly, like the second Percy Jackson movie, and like not because it's like not accurate or whatever, it's just not a good movie.
It's not.
It's way too cartoony for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they were just trying to do too much with that movie.
Okay, but the opening scene I loved as a kid, where it
They're running up the like obstacle.
yes, running up the obstacle and they're playing
Thing light it up. Or
Yes, and then it's like light it up. And I remember as a kid watching him like go up there. I was like, "This is amazing." But then the rest of the movie literally went downhill. I feel like
This is amazing.
no, seriously. As you can tell, I was into the heartthrobs of book to movies.
Yeah.
So is that like your make or break from a book to movie? If they cast an attractive
Man.
man,
Okay, yes. For example, I thought PETA, no offense to whatever his
Josh
name
Hutcherson.
is, he's not pretty enough to be PETA. I think he should have been prettier than Gail. Gail was just so handsome. So I was like, if you're going to have her pick PETA, make him like good to look at in my head. But I was also, 15. So.
she's like, Josh.
It
is
has
not
to be
good
what
enough.
you like, not the general audience.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
They should ask me.
Let's phone up Grace and see what she has to say.
Hey, hot or not, Grace?
You're like, Lionsgate, call me for your casting.
No, that's not a make or break.
Put
But
it on your LinkedIn.
Put it on my LinkedIn.
I will cast the right person.
the rest.
Casting expert, no experience.
It's like Kiss, Marry, Kill, but Hollywood edition.
Yeah. It's just gut feeling, intuition, vibes. Vibes.
Do you have one, Grace, that you just like vehemently
Least
dislike?
favorite? I think I was just disappointed that the Maze Runner series didn't do as well as it could have. It had a really good start. And as a kid, I was crushed because they did so well. I felt like with Hunger Games and Divergent and what was the other one that came out around that time?
Giver.
The Giver. But I don't know. I was like, these are all so good. And then the Maze Runner, I was like, dang, why'd they do that to me? Because like everyone has their fandom,
Yeah, and that was yours.
And that was mine because I didn't really get into that. I only read the books because the movies were PG-13. So my mom was like, you must read before you could watch.
Oh.
So, but anyways, what about you?
Mine is Ready Player One.
Wait, give us a quick, because we're almost out of time. Give us a quick, why do you hate it?
I dislike it because even if I'm like doing my best to separate it as just a movie, like not based on the source material, I did not think it was well done. I thought the plot was rushed. I felt like things were just like too quick, and I felt like it was kind of like fan service because of all the little like Easter eggs and cameos they were able to like pull with like the licensing they contracted. And so I just felt like it was to like please audiences really quick with all these little snippets, and then everything else just kind of felt like rushed, which was really sad because the audio was great, the visuals were awesome. Steven Spielberg directed it. Like I felt like they were just like lined up and primed for just like a banger of a movie, and then I just felt like the writing fell flat for me, like just as a movie on its own, let alone the fact that it's like grossly different from the book. So I was just like bummed all around.
Yeah, I think they should have made it into 2 movies at least. I think if they were going to get all of the really awesome world building that they had, and anyways, all the lore.
Super good.
Okay. So, I'm trying to think. Sorry, guys.
No, you're okay.
Do you have a closing question?
Yeah, I think my closing question is, what is something that you think somebody can do to better appreciate like movie adaptations of books so that they can like better separate that to like have a more enjoyable experience? Like for me, I think I just need to go in and be like, this is just a movie. Like, I just need to remind myself, like, it's just a movie. Like, this is not my book in quotes, right? Like, this is just a movie. And like, hopefully that can like just jog me into the right like mindset.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I feel like if it's interesting and it makes you think, then you should allow the directors, people who make the film, have their choices. Kind of like Max, I have a similar opinion where it's a different medium. So to just copy exactly what the book says is kind of pointless to me, because you should take advantage. It's a different medium. You have different strengths. You have different weaknesses. You can create something that fits what the text is about for a film. And I think that is what makes films great, and that's what makes books great. If you allow them to maximize what they're good at.
Awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, I think that was well said.
Yeah, and I think just for me, like, honestly, like, the book is still there. Like, nobody's hurting the book. And
they're hurting it, Mac. No, I'm just kidding.
And honestly, it's like, you can just see the movie as, like, just a retelling of it, you know?
Yeah.
Just, kind of separate the two. Just look at it like its own thing.
Yeah.
I think
need to
that's
work
great.
on these things.
Yeah, I think for me, what I've learned is that I don't know if I have this in my head that if I watch the movie before I read the book, then the book is ruined.
Oh,
And I think that, like what you guys were saying, the book can just be an addition to more of a really great story.
yeah.
So I think I need to change my mindset so I can read more books about movies.
Yeah, agreed. So everybody, all the listeners, go out and do one of these things next time you see
Right
Project
now.
Hail Mary.
Right now, go!
A physical book.
Yeah, read the book, watch the film.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Read it in theaters if you have to.
Yeah. You're like, actually, that's not what happens on that page. That's not what happens.
Wrong.
You know, I kind of want to do that. Bring the book. That's not what.
You pause it.
I object. Like banging your gavel.
Just start a YouTube channel. You can do it there.
That'd actually be fun to watch.
Ooh.
Okay, patent that idea.
Yeah,
That's
free
ours.
business idea.
No, not free.
business
It's
idea.
ours.
Oh.
It's
wait,
ours.
Just kidding. Nobody take that idea.
Anyways, well, thanks guys for coming.
You've been listening to The Spot, a production of BYU-Idaho Radio.
Today's hosts were
Abrielle Millet.
Max Rock.
Grace Andrus.
And Abigail Maxfield. The views and opinions of the podcast are not those of BYU-Idaho Radio or the university and are solely those opinions of the hosts. Our theme music is Finding Happiness by DJ Quads and The Perpetual Taking of Time by Artificial Music. To listen to more episodes of The Spot, visit our website byui.edu/radio and click podcasts. Follow us on social media at BYUI_The Spot and be sure to subscribe to The Spot podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Have a topic in mind, leave us a comment, and let us know what we should talk about next.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.